What's happening, Earthlings? This is Dan here again with another video for ShureandRec.com, and today we are going to be comparing microphones and help you choose the perfect microphone for your YouTube videos. Let's get started. Alright, the first microphone in this list is going to be the Shure SM58. This is a cheap microphone. Now when I say cheap, I mean the price tag isn't going to make you faint. By cheap, I do not mean the sound quality is going to be cheap. This is a fantastic microphone. This is used for live shows all over the world. And this is built like a tank. This comes for less than $100, somewhere in the $50 to $60 range. This is a dynamic microphone and it has an XLR connection, meaning you are going to be requiring XLR cables to plug this microphone into your USB interface and then finally back to your computer. This microphone has a very good frequency response, meaning it's going to capture your voice with all its nuances with great clarity. However, this one being a dynamic microphone, and as is the case with all kinds of dynamic microphones, you have to place this microphone very close to your mouth, which would make it almost impossible to make your microphone disappear from your talking head videos. But that's a compromise you would have to make if you're planning to use dynamic microphones, and that isn't so bad. Many people are showing their microphones on camera on their YouTube videos. So if that's something that you wouldn't be very unhappy about, then you can go ahead and get yourself the Shure SM58 for less than $100 in the $50-$60 range. And one great thing about this microphone is you can actually unscrew this top part here and replace this. Even though this is built like a tank, but since this is actually used for live shows, people sometimes drop the microphones and that causes the front element to break apart, and you can actually easily replace this front element a few years down the line. This microphone comes in two different variants. The first one comes without any kind of switches and bells and whistles. The second one comes with an on and off switch, which some people would like to have. So it totally depends on what you would like to have. And that's pretty much about the Shure SM58. This is a great microphone once again. If you don't have a perfect home studio for recording voiceovers and you feel that outside noise or maybe room reverberations can actually contaminate your recordings, then this is the microphone to go for, because this one is not going to pick up anything that's not very close to it. So that's our Shure SM58 microphone. The next one is also from Shure. This one is called the Shure SM7B. I'll bet this is a bit more costly than the Shure SM58. This one costs close to $400 or maybe $450, somewhere in the $500 range. And this is a really great microphone. This is a legendary microphone. This microphone was used by Michael Jackson for recording an entire album. So if you folks have been thinking that in studios people only use condenser microphones, well, you've been proven wrong, because everyone knows Michael Jackson. He was a legend himself and he used this legendary microphone to record an entire album. This is a great microphone. It's a bit bulky. It's not as small as the Shure SM58. So you are going to require a separate stand to mount this microphone on your tabletop or wherever you are recording your voiceovers. One great thing about this microphone is the microphone comes with an inbuilt pop shield or pop filter, and this one really takes those plosives away and it sounds really awesome. It has a fantastic frequency range. However, this one has a downside to it as well. This being a very big and bulky microphone is very power hungry, and you are going to need something called a cloud lifter. Let me pull up the picture from here. This one is a cloud lifter. You are going to need one of these things. This costs around $120 to $130, and this is going to make the microphone record your voiceovers without bringing in too much of hissing noise or handling noise. So you are going to need a cloud lifter to make this microphone work without introducing too much noise into your recordings. If, however, you don't use the cloud lifter, you can still use the microphone, but that is going to bring in some noise. So that's something people don't like. That's why they use cloud lifters. And including the cloud lifter and the stand and everything, this is going to cost you anywhere between $600 to $650. This is a super microphone. This is a fantastic microphone. If you can afford it, go ahead and get this one. You won't be able to get rid of this microphone in your talking head videos because the microphone has to be held very close to your mouth. However, this is a glamorous microphone. People love to see this microphone, and if you are using one of them, people would consider you as a professional. So you can have this microphone for around maybe $600 and $650 with all the accessories included, and that was the Shure SM7B cardioid dynamic microphone. Let's now head over to the next one, which is my favorite. This is the ElectroVoice RE20. The price has come down. It's now close to $400. This was originally in the $700 price range. They have now brought out the ElectroVoice RE30 broadcast microphone. And this microphone is a broadcast microphone, meaning you are going to hear your voice appearing as very boomy and radio-like with a lot of low end to your voice and still very crisp and clear. This is a staple in all radio stations across the globe, and this one is also very heavy and very big, pretty similar to the Shure SM7B that we discussed earlier. And this one is also going to require a cloud lifter because this is also a very power hungry microphone. However, once again, this is also built like a tank. It's going to last you a lifetime, and this is going to make you sound awesome. So that's the ElectroVoice RE20. It's difficult to get this microphone because I think not a lot of them are being produced nowadays, but you can find one of these online, maybe on Amazon or maybe Guitar Center or something like that, and these microphones really sound awesome. So that was the dynamic microphone range that I would recommend for YouTubers. If you have a very low budget, if you don't want to spend so much money on a microphone, go ahead and get yourself the Shure SM58. But if you can afford it, go ahead and get yourself the ElectroVoice RE20 or the Shure SM7B. Now let's head over to some condenser microphones. The first one would be a low-priced one. This is called the MXL 770. MXL is a company which is otherwise known as Marshall. They are into building guitar amps and effect units, and this is a great company. Their microphones are fantastic. I personally have used one of these microphones for many years. I still have that microphone with me. There are two varieties. The first one is called the MXL 770. The second one is the MXL 990. I personally think that the 990 sounds better with instruments and the MXL 770 sounds better with voice. So this microphone actually comes with a shock mount included in it, because when you're using a condenser microphone, these microphones are relatively heavy and they are also very sensitive, so you cannot afford to mount these microphones on standard microphone stands, which would otherwise go really well with dynamic microphones. You would have to use suspension mounts. These are rubber suspension mounts, and this microphone actually comes packed with one of these suspension mounts built specifically for this microphone. The other great feature about this microphone is this has a 1-inch diaphragm, which is really great. This is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. It's going to make your voice sound flattering as it is. The other great feature about this microphone is this has a built-in switch inside it. As you can see here, this switch here is actually going to allow you to remove noise by up to 10 decibels. So of course, if you are planning to use one of these microphones, I mean a condenser microphone, you would need to have a dedicated recording studio or a home studio. But if you feel that maybe your computer noise is too much, maybe the computer fan is making too much noise or the AC is making too much noise and some attenuation is required, then you can actually turn on this switch, and this is going to cut out that outside noise from entering your microphone by up to 10 decibels. And this really works wonders. Your voice is going to be recorded loud and clear, but the noise is going to be kept at bay. So this microphone is going to be available for around $80, and you are going to need maybe a pop filter with this microphone, because this doesn't come with a pop filter. It does come with a suspension mount though, and it's a great microphone. So if you are strapped for budget but you want to hear a condenser sound, then this is the microphone to go for, the MXL 770 cardioid condenser microphone. The next microphone is my favorite condenser microphone. It's called the Sennheiser MKH416. This is a Hollywood gold standard voiceover microphone. They use it in Hollywood studios all the time for voiceover work, and this is a really great microphone. It's made in Germany, and this microphone is a shotgun microphone, meaning you can point this microphone at you and keep the microphone 5 feet away, 10 feet away from you, and this microphone is still going to record great quality voiceovers without removing any of the lower or higher end frequencies. This microphone has a very short capture pattern, meaning this microphone is only going to capture whatever is in front of the microphone and reject sounds from the side. Let me show you the tube. The tube here, as you can see, has these vents on the sides, and these vents actually allow the microphone to reject sounds coming from the side. So the basic difference between a shotgun microphone and other types of conventional condenser microphones is a shotgun microphone would essentially pick mostly what is in front of it and reject maybe around 90% of what's around the microphone, which makes it a great choice as a video microphone. You can place this microphone right where your camera is, you can talk from a distance, and this microphone is going to pick up your sounds with great clarity. Most people who use this microphone don't actually need to do any kind of EQ to their voice, because this microphone sounds super fantastic. It's going to capture every detail of your voice, and it's going to reject all the outside noises. So you still need to have a studio of your own, but if you think you would be doing a lot of outside recordings, maybe outdoor shoots and stuff like that, and you don't want the microphone to appear on camera, then this is the microphone to go for. It's a bit expensive. It's going to cost you around $1,000, and it does come with a pop filter, even though you don't need a pop filter if you're using this for video recording purposes. But it does come with one which you can use if you are talking to the microphone, holding it very close to your mouth, especially for voiceover purposes. So if you can afford it, forget everything else, go ahead and buy the Sennheiser MKH416. This really sounds awesome, and it's going to make you want to do voiceover work. This microphone is really that great. Let's now move on to the next one. This is one of my least favorite microphones. I wouldn't say Rode is particularly something that I don't like. I like this company from Australia. It's called Rode. They made great microphones. They have the NT range of condenser microphones, which are really great. But I hate these lavalier microphones. These are very small mics that are also called collar microphones. You clip them onto your collar and you start speaking. The problem with these microphones, I personally feel, is they have very small elements built inside them. The condenser element is too small to capture all the fine nuances of your voice, and they sometimes end up sounding thin and tinny, losing out all the low-end frequencies of your voice. So I don't like them, but if you are doing a lot of outdoor shoots and you don't want to spend a lot of money on microphones, you can buy one of these things, and you can just plug this one into your phone and start recording. It's going to still capture all the voiceover that you are doing for your YouTube videos, and then later in post-production you can put together all the video and audio. But I personally don't like them. These cost maybe around $20 or $30, something like that. There are a bunch of different varieties of them available. Some of them have batteries in them, some of them need external power and all that, but I personally am not a very big fan of lavalier microphones. So those were lavalier microphones. These are also condenser microphones, by the way, and they are infamous for capturing everything that's around them. So if you have a noisy situation, it's actually going to take in the wind noise, birds chirping, and everything that's around the microphone. And then finally, we are going to be talking about the instruments that you're going to need to connect your microphone to your camera, be it a dynamic microphone, a condenser microphone, whatever microphone you are using. If you're using a microphone that has an XLR 3-pin connection, then you are going to need one of these things. It's called a USB interface. You can connect this USB interface to your computer, and the microphone is going to get plugged into one of these sockets here. This one is the Scarlett 2i2. There is also the Scarlett Solo, which takes in just one input. So you can plug in your dynamic microphone and start recording immediately. If you're using a condenser microphone, however, you have to turn on this 48 volts of phantom power that's built inside this unit, and the microphone is going to get powered on and you can start talking. This one, the Focusrite models are specifically known for being very much noise free. They are really built like tanks, and this one is going to last a lifetime for you. But there are other inexpensive options as well. This one is also not very expensive. It comes in the price range of around $200 or $150, especially the Focusrite Solo. But if you require two different inputs for your microphones, maybe you're recording two different talents at the same time, then the Focusrite 2i2 would be a great option. And there are some cheaper options available as well, maybe from Behringer or something like that, and they are good as well. So you need a USB interface to record your microphones. And the last one that I'm going to be talking about is a standalone unit, as I promised in the beginning of the video. This one is a Zoom H4n external field recorder, meaning this one has a pair of built-in condenser microphones which are placed off-axis right on the top. You can use these microphones for recording audio without having to connect anything to your device, or you can actually plug in your microphones, XLR microphones, directly into the back of this unit, and you can record your entire audio into the unit. This is great for those people who do a lot of outdoor shoots, or maybe you don't have access to a computer wherever you are doing your recording. This one you can maybe throw in your backpack, and then you can start recording using any kind of microphone that you might have. Or you don't have access to any kind of microphone, you can actually use these microphones built on the top. These are also great for recording instruments, maybe a guitar or something like that, and these can also be used for voiceover work. But I personally wouldn't recommend this as your first microphone unless you are strapped for a budget, because over a period of time you would realize that you need something that has a better frequency response. I'm not saying these things are absolute trash. These are really great microphones. However, there is a little bit of difference between these microphones and real microphones that plug into your computer, maybe a dynamic microphone or a condenser microphone. I personally really love Zoom products, and I have one of these products. I have used them for recording audiobooks as well in the past. So if you're strapped for budget, don't have more than $200, and you don't want to buy a lot of different things, then you can spend your money on a Zoom H4n or H6n, and this is going to get the job done for you. So that's pretty much about the microphones that I would recommend. If you ask me to single out just one microphone, well, I would recommend the Sennheiser MKH416 if you're going with a condenser model. And if you're going with a dynamic microphone, I would recommend the ElectroVoice RE20. So those were my favorites. Let me know in the comments below which one you like, or whether or not you have used any of these microphones in the past, and what were your experiences. And that's it for now. Thank you. I'll see you again in the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.